A lot of couples wait too long to get couples therapy, not because they don't love each other and not because the relationship is hopeless, but because they keep telling themselves, we're just stressed, or this is just this season, or we'll connect when things calm down. And meanwhile, resentment is quietly building in the background. By the time many couples finally call a therapist, they are no longer just frustrated, they're hurt, exhausted, lonely, defensive, and starting to see each other as the enemy instead of the teammate. I'm Catherine O'Brien. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist in Sacramento, California, and I specialize in working with couples and parents navigating relationship stress, emotional disconnection, resentment, and the transition into different stages of family life. And honestly, one of the hardest parts of my job is seeing how many couples could have found each other again much sooner if they had gotten support earlier. Because couples therapy is not just for relationships that are falling apart. Often it is just most effective when couples still care deeply about each other, but can feel themselves drifting. I cannot tell you how many couples sit in my office and say things like, every conversation turns into a fight. I feel alone in this relationship. We feel more like roommates. We're great parents, but we're not great partners anymore. And usually underneath all of that is not a lack of love, it is disconnection. And disconnection rarely happens overnight. And according to relationship researcher John Gottman, many couples wait about 6 years after becoming unhappy before seeking help. 6 years! That means by the time many couples finally come in, resentment has often been rehearsed thousands of times. And this happens because Gottman's research found something really important. Conflict itself is not the biggest predictor of divorce. Contempt is. That feeling of eye-rolling, hostility, sarcasm, emotional disgust, hopelessness, or assuming the worst about your partner, that is very different than two good people struggling to communicate. And this is where I think a lot of couples get confused, because they think we're fighting, so maybe we're incompatible. But often the deeper issue is we stop feeling emotionally safe, emotionally prioritized, and emotionally connected. And I want to talk about some signs it may be time to consider couples therapy before things get worse. Not because your relationship is doomed, but because your relationship matters and because waiting until you deeply resent each other makes repair so much harder. So tip number 1, you keep missing each other emotionally. One of the biggest signs I see is not explosive fighting. It is couples constantly missing each other emotionally. One partner reaches out and gets defensive. The other reaches out and gets criticism. Small disappointments pile up. Tiny moments start to hurt more than they should. And maybe one partner says, can you help more with bedtime? But underneath, they really mean, I'm overwhelmed and I miss feeling supported by you. Then the other person hears, you're failing. And suddenly a small conversation becomes a giant fight. And this is something Esther Perel talks about beautifully. Many couples are not actually fighting about the surface issue. They are fighting about longing, loneliness, power, appreciation, identity, and emotional meaning. Tip number 2, you feel more like co-managers and partners. This is especially common in parenting couples. You become logistics partners, household managers, calendar coordinators, teammates in survival mode. But emotionally, you stop turning toward each other, and this can happen even in very loving families. And I work with many couples who are wonderful parents, deeply devoted to their children, responsible, hardworking, but somewhere along the way, the relationship itself stopped receiving attention. And here's what becomes dangerous. Couples start only interacting around stress, schedules, bills, who forgot what, who's more tired, who does more. There's no softness left, no curiosity, no friendship, no emotional intimacy. And over time, people begin feeling emotionally homeless inside their relationship. And tip 3, every conversation turns into a fight. This is a huge sign, especially when couples start avoiding conversations altogether because it feels impossible to talk without escalation. One thing I often explain is most couples are not actually arguing about the dishwasher, bedtime, vacations, or text messages. They're arguing about what those moments mean emotionally. Do I matter to you? Am I alone in this? Can I trust you emotionally? Are we still a team? Relationship therapist Terry Real talked a lot about couples getting trapped in cycles of protection instead of connection. So instead of vulnerability, people move into criticism, control, shutdown, defensiveness, or keeping score. And the relationship slowly becomes less emotionally safe. And tip 4, you've started assuming the worst about each other. This one is incredibly important. Healthy couples generally assume goodwill. Even during conflict, there is still a sense of, I know you're not trying to hurt me. But when resentment builds long enough, couples stop giving each other the benefit of the doubt. Neutral moments become interpreted negatively. A forgotten errand becomes, you don't care about me. A distracted response becomes, I'm invisible to you. This is often a stage where couples feel hopeless, but honestly, many couples can still repair here if they get support. And tip 5, life transitions are exposing cracks. I see this constantly during becoming parents, raising young children, infertility, postpartum struggles, parenting teens, career stress, caregiving for parents, perimenopause, affair recovery, emptiness, transitions, life transitions. They all magnify existing patterns, and stress exposes where couples already feel unsupported, disconnected, or emotionally unseen. And many couples think, we used to be good, what happened? And usually what happened is life got heavier and the relationship lost intentional care. And tip 6, you're waiting until things calm down. This is probably the biggest trap. Couples tell themselves, we'll work on this after the baby sleeps, after the stressful season, after summer, after work slows down. But relationships don't magically heal through avoidance. And honestly, emotional distance tends to grow quietly over time. I've worked with couples who came in early enough that they still had emotional openness toward each other. They were frustrated, disconnected, exhausted. But underneath it all, they still assume goodwill. And those couples often make progress much faster. I've also worked with couples who waited years, but then every interaction had become filtered through resentment. Even small repair attempts felt suspicious. The emotional injuries were much deeper. That does not mean repair is impossible, but it does mean the work becomes harder. That is why I believe so strongly in not waiting until your relationship is in full crisis. If you're listening to this and thinking, this sounds a little too familiar, I want you to know that needing support does not mean your relationship is failed. Sometimes it means you're finally paying attention before a connection hardens into something much more painful. And if you're in California, I offer both virtual and in-person couples therapy in Sacramento. The couples who do best are not the couples who never struggle. They're the couples willing to turn toward the relationship before contempt becomes the dominant language of the home. And before every conversation feels loaded, before emotional loneliness becomes normal, because healthy relationships are not built through perfection, they are built through repair. So if this video resonated with you, I want you to watch this next video right here on the men alone in marriage and why it creates so much resentment between couples. Because a lot of couples think they are constantly fighting about chores, schedules, or who's doing more. But underneath those fights are often much deeper feelings of emotional overwhelm, loneliness, feeling unseen, and no longer feeling like a team. The video goes deeper into one of the biggest relationship patterns I see affecting couples, especially after kids, and can help you better understand what may really be happening underneath the conflict. So be gentle with yourself and with each other, and I'll see you next time.